Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I'm I'm a bit tired and I thought about what I want to do, so I decided I'm going to actually save this one first. Save as. I want to do a small live stream. I didn't do live stream in some time, but I'm just not in the mental capacity to actually like finish a project, really sit down, work on something. I'm a bit like cooling down after the whole 3D animation video thing, and I'm just doing some light stuff. So yeah, and also weekend was like full with a complete project, building the hair, rigging the hair, about 3 hours that I just threw into a project, a bit more actually, but about 3 hours of video content that I had to like smash down into like actually 18-minute video, because I wasn't able to just put it in 10 minutes. And I need to save this characters new folder. Okay, and we're gonna name this start. I'm just gonna name this start. Yeah, so I've got a character from a manga. Let's you know what I mean when I say manga. That I really like want to do the outfit of, maybe even the hair, but at this point I'm basically just doing hair anymore. And yeah, um let's dive in, I guess. The character in itself is not that complex, but the clothing is like multi-piece with a few cool things that I really like. I cannot show you the image because I'm very positive YouTube would not like me doing that. And yeah, so what I'm going to work on is like the base clothing. The clothing has multiple layers. And I'm gonna start top to bottom with the inner layers. Then we're gonna work on the outer layer, and we'll see how far we come. I don't think I will do the shoes today, but yeah. Starting with she has like kind of color, and I'm gonna start with that tube with 16 points per section and 2 sections. Relatively easy stuff. We're gonna position this around the center, symmetry on, so whenever we work on this. Okay. And yeah, one of the issues is the shape of the actual human body versus the shape of the human body in anime is different. But we can do this. Okay. We're setting our manipulators to the object and back to world. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I have the AI music that I usually use for the videos in the background. I have no idea how loud this is. Selection. Okay. Pull this out. Gonna tilt it a bit. Gonna pull it back in. Perfect. If I may so say so myself. Okay. Yeah, one of the interesting things is just like jumping back and forth between the manipulator initialization mode. Holy shit! Between world selection and between world coordinates and selected item coordinates. Okay. We are about, well, not done with this part, but yeah, just a little bit of slide work. Actually, oh, hello! Art Magazine, hi! Nice of you to be here. Yeah, as I said in the very beginning, I'm just not in the mental state to actually make a full video. I'm just like doodling a bit, cooling down after the latest project that I did, and yeah, working on a clothing set. Okay, so next, it's a bit of a reference to a manga, and we'll see what comes out of it. Nice of you to be here. And yeah, I have to look over to the other monitor sometimes to see if you're in the chat. And if I work on the 3D projects, I usually get into a complete headspace of like just focusing on the monitor, focusing on what's happening. And yeah, we'll see what comes out of it. So thickening tool, I have this on Alt T for me in the setup, and yeah, that's okay. And yeah, I'm just doing like the first parts of this. Here's a little neat trick that you usually don't see in the video because it's very quickly. I just grab one of the, like when I want to make this smooth, right? It just deflates very much. It looks weird. And what I'm gonna do is to make this look more stable, to make this look more defined, I'm gonna grab one of the uh, circles, one of the loops. Basically just grab one of the edges you want, then press L so you have a loop. Press K to jump the loop around. And now I'm using the connect tool, which is on the vertex modeling 1, 2, 3, 4, the seventh one, or for me, Alt A. And it basically connects the edges that you have with another line. And this is what I do to basically give the whole thing a bit more stability. And what it does is basically now we have a defined top and bottom. This is just defines the whole object a bit more. Okay. I'm making the collar a bit thicker because usually when you twist the neck, the collar likes to deform a lot. And I try to not have that happen. Yeah. The character has some kind of studs on her collar, so we're gonna simulate those. And again, what I always like to say is 3D stuff is like smokes and mirrors. So actually, let's try that again. Okay, small cylinder. We're gonna give it 4 sides, 8 points per second per section is fine. Let's weld the top. So we have like the we have like a tip, but it's gonna get round, and we're gonna make this a bit smaller. And this is actually all we need to do. And if I smooth this down now and delete the face on the bottom, then we have something similar to a round stud. Just gonna make this a little more round, and there we go. Good enough. Make this a bit smaller, and rotate this. Okay. And before I now go and work with this, I'm just gonna make the first material so that I have a material for all the for all of these stats, because I'm gonna copy paste this around the neck. And to do this, I'm using the unfold tools under UV and paint and unfold, and it basically just sets the selected edges to a seam. You click the unfold button in the properties, and then you've basically made your 3D object into a 2D object, more or less. This is not a good explanation. This is not the perfect explanation of what's happening, but it is kind of what's happening. Okay. Okay. Also, if you unfold this, it will basically automatically fill the space to the very corner, so nothing overlaps, which is really nice. Okay, going to give this a new material. Studs. Accept. Okay. Selection makes it easier to actually like hey yo, thank you very much. Top. To wrap this around a specific piece. Okay. Right view, left view, okay. Okay. And we're gonna put these studs around the whole neck, or well, not around the whole neck actually. We're gonna just do this for one half and then copy paste this to the other half of this model. No, gonna fight the rand angle. Okay. Copy number 3. Yeah, if you have any questions, just like put them in the chat. This is, I have it in the corner of my eye so I can see when something pops up. Usually and try to explain what I'm doing. Whoop. Okay, these might be a bit bigger than in the original, but that's okay. Okay. Yeah, the music I use in the background is basically stuff I generated. I really enjoy these tools. Like, it's interesting because I'm a visual artist, so artist. I do visual stuff, and at the very beginning of all this, I was like, oh no, bad AI, how can it do that? And then I started using auditive AI because I am not much of a musician. Like I can play an instrument. I learned to play piano. But I'm not really I don't really enjoy doing that, so I really I stick to my visual stuff. Okay. One. Okay. We're grouping this because we can copy paste a whole group easier, and we're going to reverse the X position and the X size, and this is basically finishing up with the color. Let's save. Yeah, but yeah, I'm more about the visual art, and I started using visual AI art stuff as well. If you want to call it art, I used visual AI creation stuff. Okay, so I'm going to give the color its material, and I'm gonna grab one of the loops. I'm grabbing another one of the loops on the inside. I usually try to grab the inside, and like the backside, something you do not really see. And again, Alt B is my unfold tool. I'm gonna unfold this, and yeah, this unfolds very nicely. I could like take the time to just adjust this so it is very even and very stable, or I can just extract it a little bit, like fix this in a tiny bit So it is a bit better, but I don't really see the point because I'm not gonna really... No, it crashed, it crashed, it crashed, it crashed, it crashed. Where is it? Okay. Woo! There we go. Okay, let's save. Let's try if that happens again. Actually, before I do that, let me set up this. I need to open an inconspicuous image. Give me a second. Do I have one of those? Probably not. Why not this? Okay, this is totally inconspicuous and totally weird. And is this... Where is it? There we go. Okay. I'm gonna put this on the whole window, and we're gonna put this... I'm gonna put the on top, so if it crashes, we will see the other thing and not my desktop. Should have done that before, but that's on me. Okay, perfect. And yeah, let's go back and try that again. So we're gonna grab one loop. Yeah, I usually do the speed thing because it's more of a workflow channel thing than like I do my tutorials and I do my live stuff sometimes, but I'm not really confident in that because there's people who are way better than me and who do way better stuff. Also, Hexagon is more like a niche thing, so I think like other people would do this better. Oh, yeah, okay, we're gonna unfold this again, and I'm just gonna leave it like this time. Color. See what happened? I accidentally started hit my caps lock, and this is what broke this whole thing down. Okay, so let's pull Genesis 2 back in, and someone is writing me on Steam. I will have to answer that later. Okay, second piece. Let me check my reference stuff. I see she has a ledge on the back. Okay, so the next thing is like a... I mean, I'm probably... I feel... Sometimes I feel like I'm the only person who actually uses Hexagon, so, thanks. Like, at least the one who's using Hexagon and showing it. Okay, let's break this down. And yeah, I think like sometimes... Ooh. 24, 20, 20, 20 is fine. Okay. Because we don't need that much of this anyway. And yeah, I like to share. I started this for a vastly different reason. And it just evolved to this thing naturally. Okay. Give me a second. Where's my... I can't get to my Steam. Whoop. Oh, I am live streaming right now, so can't talk. Okay, and I'm just gonna leave it here so it doesn't pop up again. Yeah. I'm not sure if all that is disabled if is like a like I know that people of my age say that as well sometimes. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm just glad I can show other people stuff. Like my whole thing here is me wanting to show people how to make stuff. I guess I'm a big fan of a big advocate of doing stuff yourself. Like no, wait, that doesn't work. I just want to like show people how to make their own stuff instead of uh having to rely on others to make them stuff. I guess like this is more or less what I always when I'm always a fan of make the things myself. For example, I actually started with this too with the whole 3D thing to model a few of my role-playing characters because I couldn't find like good images, and I'm not such a big fan um of just like grabbing some image from the internet and be like, oh yeah, this is now my character, because I usually have a very specific idea in mind. Show me your. Okay, it is very okay. Uh, and um I started to make my own stuff basically because I was um not that fortunate money wise, and I basically just couldn't pay for the stuff, so I basically just had the option of make it myself or not have cool character pictures, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna make this stuff myself then. Hello. Ah, okay, here we go. Okie dokie. Whoop. Again with the connection tool, and you can see this is like something I do really quickly usually, so you don't really see it in the videos if it is faster than that. I have it in one of the tutorial thingies, in one of the tutorial videos, not thingies, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do the fine tuning in a bit. I just wanna fit this around the chest before I go on with the less interesting detail in the back. Okay. Here's another cool thing. Why did it crash? Sometimes I wonder. Open. Eh. Yay. Okay. Sometimes it just like randomly decides to nope out. And I usually cut these from my videos. Okay. Another cool tool is the view detail thing, and you can just like mark an area that you want to zoom in, which helps a lot in actually getting a good view of what you're doing, because otherwise you can sometimes just zoom through the object, which is kind of bleh. Okay. Okay. So yeah, the connect tool really helps in just adding more uh more more faces and more detail to your model without overloading it. And sometimes you just gotta use the tessellate, which is bound to X by default. This is not my binding, I think. But yeah, like a lot of what I'm doing is more on the technical side, I think, than, for example, Blender, where you sculpt your thing, where you are like you have to have an artistic idea of what you are going for before you can actually like really make something. And I think Hexagon is more in the ballpark of I'm gonna make this on a technical level. Like I know how the technical thing goes on. That's a few too many dots. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna fine tune this when we smooth it down. Okay, we actually need to have this we have to fine tune this a bit more right now. Bunk bunk. I'm getting Steam chatted. Okay. And here's the fun part of something that is very, very boring to watch. Like, just adjust all these points by hand and make them kind of fit your model or your figure. This is also the part where I get usually extremely quiet and don't say anything because it's just a repetitive task. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move a few of these points. Okay. Okay, this is very defined, so we're gonna hello more watchers. Nice of you to be here. Okay. Damn, chat is getting full. Okay, I'm working, by the way, for those who don't know, I usually work on Genesis 2. I basically started when Genesis 3 was just around the corner and was very expensive to get, and all the figures for Genesis 3, my bad, Genesis 3 were expensive as heck, and like the Genesis 2 were just getting rolled out or just getting phased out, so they were cheap, and I just decided, okay, I'm gonna buy all the cheaper Genesis 2 models and work with that. With models, I mean the characters that give you some additional body morphs and face morphs, and that also give you some additional skin colors and stuff like that. And I kind of never moved on from Genesis 2 because it fills all the needs that I have. I would say I personally am not necessarily an artist. I'm more like a technical kind of person, like a 3D modeler. So I'm not a 3D modeler artist. Like if I can draw the comparison, like I'm not the Formula 1 racer, which would be an actual artist. I'm more like the pit stop guy. Like I'm like they are essential, they are there, they are needed, but they're not like the the ones people will remember, even though they are there. Okay. Actually, I need to remove a lot of this in the back anyway. And this is not working. Okay. How do we do this? I'm just gonna remove all of this, and I'm gonna okay. I need basically this in front. I just need to tug it under the second layer of clothing, which is why it is here. Otherwise, I don't really need it. Which also means we can now grab this, grab these edges, move them up, make them bigger, and readjust all this stuff. Yay. Okay. Ugh. Ah, I hate this. Okay. And there we go. But yeah, adjusting all these finer pieces is a bit of work. But it'll look good in the end. And I have to readjust this anyway whenever I smooth this down. The alternative to smoothing down is just adding way, way, way more points until you don't see the edges anymore, because they look around to the eye as an optical illusion, which is actually what Genesis 2 is doing. Like if you look at it, it looks round, but it's actually not. If I smooth down Genesis 2, by the way, I basically just crash my hexagon on purpose. So I'm not gonna. Can kind of handle it, but not really good. This bit of piratey music. Made this back when I worked on the D&D stuff, which I still have to finish. Don't remind me. I know. And we are getting somewhere with this. I promise. The trick to model something like this really round area of the female torso anatomy is to have lots have additional iterations, additional vertices. And here's a neat little trick. Like the if you check out the female anatomy, it is round, right? There's like round loops, rings is a good word. And we can trick this into becoming rings. Like currently we have like a lot of squares, and we can make squares round. We select all these four adjacent pieces to this cross basically, and then we use the connect tool, which gives us this funny little square, but it's like tilted 45 degrees. And now we can play around with that. Hello, I want this dot here. Okay. Yeah, and we can, for example, just grab these again, make another ring. Now we can grab these. Wait, this is a bad idea. We can grab these, connect them. We can grab these, connect them. We can grab these, connect them. If I grab too many of them, he will do like more circles. And now we're gonna connect this with the greater framework. Oh god, I'm becoming a furry. But yeah, you can with the tessellate tool that I'm currently using and the connect tool, you can really work on your shapes and stuff. And now if I use the selection tool, nice. We can move this around a bit. And we get like a semi-round shape. With a bit of trickery, we actually get somewhere with this. Lesson in trickery and stuff. And it is definitely not perfect, but we are getting somewhere with this. Okay, and if I save this before it explodes, and then I grab all these faces again, all these edges again, connect them again, I have another iteration. Just pull out the lines a bit more. I have to do this again in a few seconds, by the way, as soon as I smooth this down. But I want to have this at least at some degree of working. Okay. And yeah, smoothing the whole thing down and then working out the clipping. It's actually not that hard, but it is time consuming and definitely boring to watch. Okay. And yeah, if I basically make more iterations, if I make more vertices, if I detail this more, then it gets easier. One of the issues that I'm currently having is my model that I work on, that I made, is way less detailed than the underlying model of Genesis 2. If I had like more vertices in Genesis 2, I could interesting. Ooh, there's still like a face that is hiding up here. Interesting. Okay. Whoop. Okay, if this clips, this is not as problematic because there will be the other clothing over it anyway. But we maybe want to hide this nonetheless. Okay. Okie dokie. I'm gonna try and make this a bit more form-fitting to the aforementioned female anatomy, and you can see that this kind of works. Yeah. I bet my phone is just telling me that, oh, someone on your channel is live. I have no idea why there is a why Google decides to alert me that I am live on my own channel. Like, I have no idea. Okay, let's do another iteration here. And okay, I'll be honest, I think okay, if I hello? Okay, we have these dents here, but otherwise this looks good. Okay, so we basically have to okay. I have to pull these out a bit more. And now it should look fine. Yeah, this looks fine. This is okay as it is. Okay, we have a bit of clipping here, but we can fix that easy. Done. Okay. Here's a little thing that I like to do when I have fabric. I'm just grabbing the edges of said fabric that I want to accentuate, because otherwise I would just have like a cut off piece of fabric, and this doesn't look as good in my opinion. So I developed this trick of just copy pasting these the edges, and if I use the thickening tool on them and make them like really small, really thin, that is okay, and smooth them down to the same degree, I just have a fitting edge to my clothing that gives it some perception. Ooh, perception of depth. Yeah, I forgot to check out the back. Okay, which means I give those a symmetry of X. Then I'm grabbing all these pieces that I just worked on. And if I grab all of these, I can grab the points and work out these smaller details. And that's about it. Okay. Yay! Looking good so far. Okay, let me just quickly. We'll check that out later. Not opening links on the live stream. Okay. So the character also has a skirt. Where does the skirt start? I would say around this area. Do I have a better image? Not really. Okay. Skirt is relatively simple in its design. It's really just like skirt that goes down. So about ye high. Okay, about belly button height. Let's go a little bit lower. And it's about knee high. Eight sections is fine. Points per section, we're gonna go to 24. Position 0. Symmetry this X, because luckily our figure is symmetrical as well. And this is gonna be so boring. Okay, because a simple dress that is just like flowing down is really boring to a certain extent. This is going to be a lot of the aforementioned moving points. This is basically nothing else. At least for the waist. Yeah, this is the part I'd just like to skip or give it really high speed usually in the videos, because it is so uninteresting, so unappealing. And it is sometimes really difficult to actually grab the manipulator you want. I should maybe make a default skirt. So I can just copy paste a skirt in whenever I need one and work from there. Might be a good idea. Whoop. Okay. But yeah, grabbing the right manipulator can be a pain. But oh. Okay, I guess I have to iterate, like give it an additional edge here, just so I can fit this around the body. Screw this. Okay. I see it is also not fitting here. Okay. At least this part of the dress is relatively simple, because it is just a tube. Really nothing more. Okay. Simple trick to make the top of the skirt fit relatively easy. Well, trick, it's just a very, very simple copy paste. I'm gonna no wait, I'm gonna grab these. I'm gonna give them a simple iteration. Okay, that should not have worked, made any clipping. And I'm gonna copy paste the upper two face rounds, face groups, whatever. Not really a face group, but okay. Gonna make them slightly bigger and a bit higher. And then we're gonna thicken them inside. 0.005 is a fine size. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing as we did for the collar. We're going to grab one of the edges. We're going to loop this. Then grab all the parallel loops and use the connection tool to give them an additional iteration. And actually, I'm just gonna give them one iteration. Smooth this down to 2, save, and we have our skirt, more or less. This is like very, very plain, very, very boring skirt. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit this a tiny bit by going to the selection mode, and we're going to remove the symmetry here. Save, and gonna just move this out a tiny bit so it is not perfectly symmetrical, not perfectly aligned. Pull this out a bit, pull this down, tilt this a tiny bit and move it a tiny bit, but that is already enough to just give it a feel of it is moving clothing. It is well, living clothing is wrong, but it is not as it's not as lifeless as it looked before. Whee. Okay, and we have a bit of a skirt. Okay, I see that this is trying to get away, so let's do that. And what this basically does, it adds a bit more visual detail that will later work in our favor to just look a bit more like an actual dress and not just put around the body. Okay, I'm actually going to use the extrude tool. If you press Control, just have the extrude tool. I'm gonna put this a bit more in the back. To delete this one face. And we're gonna have to weld this line so it looks a bit better. This is how I do my pleated dresses usually. Okay. Okay, if we go to the smooth solid again, and we grab Genesis 2, we get an idea of how this looks, and yeah, this is okay. Okay, so now this character has one more piece of clothing that is on the very basis of the thing, of the like the lowest area of the clothing, not area, the lowest dimension. I don't know. And she has some arm puffs, and I think, at least from what I can see, they are not connected to the uh shoulder piece. At least not with this. Like, they are connected, I think, from the second layer. Layer is a good word. We should remember that word. But yeah, this is like on the lowest, on the most inner layer of clothing. Some kind of shoulder puff. So we are going to make that in a second. I don't really like using spheres, so I'm going to do a... Should I like this a lot more? Okay, flat solid is way better, actually. Okay. Yeah. Accept. Tilt 90 degrees. What I said. Okay. So this starts relatively far inside, and I'm actually gonna tilt it more. No, I'm just gonna keep it like this. Okay. Okay, so if you use the extrude tool on like a selection of faces, you get this like funny thing where you can just like pull this out, or you can use the yellow ball, which is not really working, or you can use the red little dot, which works perfectly fine. Very nice. Okay, actually should move this over the shoulder if I want to work with this. Like this, okay. And we are getting somewhere with this already, okay. So this is a bit bigger, and this is actually around the arm. It is really tight around the arm. Left view, please. Okay. Okay. Step 2. World selection. Okay, I think I have too many iterations, so I actually need to work this down, which means we're gonna weld one iteration of this into the other. Basically simplify the whole thing. Less pieces that don't do what they're supposed to do. Whoop. Maybe this is smarter. Maybe this is a quicker or smarter way of doing this. I don't know. Okay. Connect this. Make it a bit bigger. Connect this again. Make this a bit smaller. So these extra steps basically stabilize the size of the puff there, more or less. And let me also do a few other fun things later on. Okay. Okay. I'm unsure if 8 iterations are enough, but we'll find out. Okay, I want you there. Nice. Okay, just make sure that this is not clipping into the body, which means we're gonna move. Nope. We're gonna move these out. And if I use world selection, I actually get where I want with this. Okay. Just stabilize this a bit. And I'm gonna have to move this puff piece a bit down. Because the second layer of clothing will interact with this one. Okay, let's see. It is kind of what I want. It's not really perfectly what I want, but it is good enough as a basis. Okay, we're gonna move this. I don't really see what I'm doing. Gonna move this back a bit. Oh, come on. Okay, I also think this is way smaller on the lower side. Almost like this, that is curved. Let's grab those faces instead. And just resize the whole thing. Whoop. Selection. Okay. And yeah, this is kind of how I want this to be. We're gonna grab this edge and move it a bit out. By the way, this is the headspace that I spoke about. I'm so focused on what I'm doing here that I'm actually forgetting to talk about the tools and all that stuff. It is a curse. No, it is what it is. It is how I work. Kind of get lost in the whole thing. Which is why I don't live stream that much anymore, because I usually either ramble on and on and on and nothing good comes of it, or it's incoherent and only rarely that you actually hear something of value. Okay. Oop. Bit more iterations so we can actually like deform this more and make it look a bit boy. Okay. But yeah, a bit more deformation, and we actually have a model similar to what I am looking at in the picture on the side. Okay, we're gonna grab both of the outer edges, thickening those. Okay, actually, let's make this 2. Let's make this 1. 1.5. Bam. Luis. Yeah. Okay. Next step, she has some kind of like what do you call it? Strap with a clasp, I guess, strap with a buckle on this end here. And we're gonna make that next. 2 sections and 16 sections like this. Gonna thicken it a bit. We're gonna turn it 90 degrees sideways, and we're gonna fit it around. Well, thank you. Okay, and I made this with more sections so I can actually fit it around the other thing better. I hate the zoom on the top. Okay. Whoop. Okay. This looks good. Gonna make it a bit smaller. Okay, we can move it up a bit. Now it's gonna start clip because we moved these pieces in and out. So we have to fine-tune this a tiny bit, but not too much, because we're also gonna thicken this one outside again. That's a bit much. Okay, we're gonna iterate more on the side, so this is like a better square one. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is, okay, where are the clasps? Okay, on the outside, so on the top. Yeah, looks like top. Yeah, they are on the outside. Okay. Okay, and they go. The strap goes to the back. Okay, so let's save this, and we're going to grab one of the edges, like one of the loops, and we're going to use the dissociate tool, which basically cuts open the thing. So it was stable before, and now it is not. Now it is open to the public. Okay, and next we're gonna extrude this like no sorcery here, no new tools. Okay, this looks about right. The only thing is that we have to like close this, and this is a little bit of a troubling thing. Actually, I don't have to close it. I don't have to close this. Because we're gonna cheat a lot. Step one, we're gonna make the clasp. Okay, this should work. And usually the clasp is like, if I don't have a belt clasp, great. If you have a belt clasp, you have like the outer frame, and then you have like the inner pin, I guess, that is moving. And the trick is to make this all one piece. Haha. And again, smoke and mirrors, optical illusions. This is nothing other than that. I would probably be a great magician. Okay. We are going to have to make a few iterations with the connect tool here. Because otherwise the whole thing will break down fairly quickly. Okay, this should be enough if we... Oh, no. Wait, it's not enough. Now it should be enough. Yeah, I mean, it's still rounded and weird, but it is not that bad. Okay, tilt 90 degrees. At some point, I will remove my caps lock key. Because it's annoying. Okay. I don't think anybody will pay attention. This is something that I usually trick around with. Like, doesn't really matter if I do this front to back or back to front. Nobody pays that much attention to this detail anyway. Just gonna tilt this a little bit. Selection. And we're gonna do the same thing here after we set our zoom stage to yay, not to nay. Okay, and we're gonna pull this back out like this. Tick. Okay. I should probably connect these for more iteration. Okay. This is good as it is. I will leave it like that. It clips a bit with the shoulder puff, but that's okay. And we're going to be very, very simple for the end of this. We're just gonna copy that value. We're going to make like an end for this buckle thingy. Very simple, very basic. Okay. Grab all the faces. Cross tessellate this like 2 times. No, actually 1 time. Then we're gonna... Okay, we're going to move the whole thing. Whoop. Make sure that we cover the opening. Grab these faces and make them a bit smaller. Okay, everything is still covered. That's nice. Grab all faces, cross tessellate them again, and when we smooth this down now, we have a nice simple shape for the end of this strap. Just because I can, I will do like it. Yeah, just because completionist and stuff. I'm gonna do an additional loop, or I think they're called belt loops, right? Actually, bam. And we're gonna just make a small belt loop that grabs this clasp, so that it actually has a reason to be where it is. Okay, thickening this, but not as much. And yeah. Okay. Next step, we're gonna copy paste this to the other side. Okay, actually we have some clipping that we have to take care of first. Okay, we're gonna grab those two thingies. A lot more clipping than I thought. Okay, fair enough. Okay, next step, we're going to make a few UV maps for this part, because if we copy paste this, we want the UV maps and the textures ready. Okay, this is the arm puff, shoulder puff thingy, okay, this is the inner edge and the outer edge, which I will make into one. I will give them one material for both, because less material means less stuff to edit later on. Bam. Which means after I unfolded both of these, I'm gonna grab both models in my both pieces in my scene tree. You can see that both UV maps are selected, and then I'm gonna click new. Shoulder puff edges, and yeah, now both have basically the same material, which means when I put a texture on this, like this, textures, base colors, blue, both have the same blue color. And if I had to make, if I had made this two separate things, then I would have to give each of them a color, because you can see like the shoulder puff doesn't have a color. I have to like give this a texture color separately. Okay. This one is relatively easy. I can just grab, since both sides are open, I can just grab the inner edge, unfold it like this, and we have another very simple UV map that I don't have to edit that much. Leather strap, accept. Leather strap shoulder I should add. Accept. And I'm gonna do a cubic projection UV map, because it is way easier to do for this as well, which actually makes materials. If you use the pre-made UV maps, it gives you a material. So I'm gonna grab both of these again. I deleted the UV. Okay, from the start. So if you have an object and you are lazy like me, you can just use a pre-made UV map, like a spherical projection, cylindrical projection, planar projection, or cubic projection. And what it does is basically it throws a cubic projection on it, which doesn't cut open the object, like you don't unfold it. Like usual, you give it an auto unfold option, which is relatively simple, relatively good if you are just starting with this. This is like a really easy thing to do. And also it instantly adds a material you just have to rename. In this case, it is belt loop shoulder strap. Accept. And I did this for like I did the cubic projection for the uh for the uh for the end of the strap and for the clasp, which gave me two different materials which I deleted. Like you can just go to the little arrow and then delete or remove material. And next I'm gonna just say new and call this metal bits shoulder. Accept. And then I have like I have the unfolded simple cubic projection, but I have a material texture that is marking both of these. In this case, bam, both are yellow or golden later on. And if I'm doing this one for completion, this one gets brown, bam. This one gets a texture image that I have to look for. I'm gonna give this the same blue as the rest of the shoulder, and we basically colored the shoulder. Very basic, very simple. And I'm just throwing on flat flat colors because it works. Okay, so I'm going to grab everything that is part of the shoulder. Group them. Namely group shoulder. Except then we copy pasting this. We're gonna invert the position. We're gonna invert the size on the x-axis, and we have the shoulders done. And at this part, I'm inclined to stop for today and finish this. Good question. One of these days. Okay, let's at least color this so you have an idea of where this is going. And the studs get the same color as the other metal. Okay. For this one, I'm going to make a very simple projection map. I'm just going to grab the middle of this, of the back strap, which will be the seam. And for some reason it decided one of the back straps is very big and while the other back strap is very tiny, and I have no idea why. I just don't like when it is doing this. So what we're going to do is we're going to resize this back strap. I have no idea why it's not doing this symmetrically, because it is perfectly symmetrical at this point. Bam. Okay. Going to since we're gonna throw on flat colors anyway, I don't really throw that much attention to the whole UV map thing, but otherwise I would actually take the time and make a proper UV map, but this is gonna be relatively flat when I'm done with this. Okay. Okay, new chest piece. Accept. So these are the two edges. And we're gonna give them both a cubic projection, which makes two materials. Like, even if you select multiple pieces, it will make a projection for each if you use the auto projection thingy. chest piece edges, except we're gonna I'm gonna cut the skirt here. Whoop. Oh, this is good. Skirt. Actually, we forgot something about the skirt, which we will have to do before I stop. Okay, this is a good projection for the skirt. New skirt. Hem. Torso, except... And the skirt obviously needs an edge on the lower side. And here's something cool. Like if I resize this this edge, it makes the fabric look thicker. Like if I do this like at 0.1 value, it looks thicker than if I do this at 0.05, for example. It changes the perception of the actual thickness of the fabric, which is a really cool effect you can do to make like really thick edges that are around a flat surface, but it looks like the surface has some thickness to it. It's a really nice trick that I figured out as soon as I figured out that I can do these like edges around stuff. I have still a few models that don't have these edges because when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. Anyway, skirt hem torso. Okay, new. Wait, no, remove. We actually need to. Whoop. New skirt edge legs. Okay. Bam. And we have the basic clothing down. What I have to do is like the shoes. She has some gloves, which I will do, but these are relatively easy because I can just copy paste stuff from the full body suit. Though the gloves will be like 50 seconds. And she has some kind of skirt, like some kind of apron, I guess, over the skirt and the top, which I will make another time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe on the weekend. I don't know yet. But yeah, this is as far as we went. If I... Whoop. Okay, let's save at this point. Yeah, so far for this finished product will come out one of these days. Also, like clipping like this on the inside is not that problematic because you can't see it. So don't work too much on the clipping on the inside of clothing, because usually on the inside of clothing there's a person, and usually people are not transparent. Okay, that's it for today. It is 10:30. I think I'll go to bed, and when I wake up early, I will probably work more on this set. Until then, the usual thing: stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll